Hello, Sanford. You are listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. I am Jonathan West, and welcome to the Howler, your home for everything Sanford College sports. And we're in the middle of the college football season, and well, MAC conference play is starting to heat up as Sanford is 1-1 in conference, and they are coming up on a huge matchup. And when I talk huge, I'm not talking about it's a tough team or a big team that they have to face. I'm talking this is a game that is a must win. They're playing the Eastern Michigan Eagles. This team hasn't won a game all season. If there is any game this year that the Coyotes have a chance of winning, it is this game. Now, I don't want to get overconfident and believe that this team is going to pull off the victory as a definite, but I'll say this much. I wholeheartedly believe that if this team is going to pull off a dominant win, it'll be this week. This Eastern Michigan team is not like the teams they faced. It's a lot weaker. They have a big opportunity to impress this week, especially for some recruits as we get into that. Casey Trevor still fighting with Sanford and Boston College as his top two schools. Hopefully he'll make his decision soon, and I hope it's to come here and join his brothers. Devon Neal, the big defensive end that started to catch the eye of Coach Wolf, he's kind of having second thoughts, but there's one school offering scholarships to him and Neal, and that's Sanford. They got to be looking at that scholarship, hopefully. As cornerback Marcus Jones is arguing with himself over, apparently, Central Michigan and Sanford. Well, Central Michigan is on the schedule this year for Sanford, and, well, that game could lead to Marcus Jones' decision. So that is a big matchup to watch later on this year. Now, as we go down this board here, there's a lot of guys that are really about to commit. One guy, though, that's still fighting for a decision is Tyrese Baker, the quarterback. He's still arguing over Sanford and Syracuse. Backup center John Coleman is still kind of learning about this program. There's no real idea of if he's going to come here or not. So that's a guy to keep your eye on as well if they can't get Casey Trevor for sure. Now let's talk a little bit more about this week, because the issue with this week is a trap game. They talk about a lot in the NFL. When you're taking on a team with a low record and you get overconfident, it can come back and bite you, and you come away with a loss that shouldn't have happened. That's exactly what Sanford may be walking into. But what Sanford has to look at with this week is not only keep your mind focused, keep your eye on the prize, and keep your thoughts on getting the W this week and not expecting to get the W this week. What you've got to do is remember that if you win this game, you tie the school high in wins. This team only won 3 games last year. If they win this week, they win 3 games. This is huge on a number of situations. They'll be 2-1 in conference and have 3 wins already on the season. They'll be the halfway mark to being bowl eligible. There's a chance, folks. The schedule is very favorable for this team. This game may be what sparks this team to a possible bowl game. This game is what may spark this team to a MAC conference championship. If they don't make mistakes and they can get on the board quick and keep it, this team may just show how good they can be. We'll talk more about it before the game this Saturday, but that's been all for this edition of The Howler. I've been Jonathan West. You've been listening to Sanford Sports Radio. We will see you folks this Saturday. Hello, Sanford. We are here in Rynearson Stadium. There we go. I got it out. I've been practicing that. That's the sad part. We're here in Rynearson Stadium here in Michigan as the Eastern Michigan Eagles face the Sanford Coyotes in what is being called the biggest opportunity for these Coyotes. It's a winless team versus an up-and-coming team. That's the key point to remember here. Sanford currently is 5th in the East standings. If they can win out, they have a huge opportunity. They have to hope for some help for Miami of Ohio to lose and for the University of Ohio to lose. But they have an opportunity in front of them. This team did a great job last week against Northern Illinois. If Tanner Patrick can replicate that play, I'll say this much. I was confident going into this week against these Eagles. I'd be even more confident seeing Tanner Patrick replicate that performance as they get ready here to kick off in this big MAC conference matchup. As it looks like Sanford's gonna return this one to begin. That is Lewis McMahon back to return it. And he's got some blockers in front. A nice block there. McMahon's got room. And man misses. Makes another one miss. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Coyotes. 98-yard return for Lewis McMahon. Guess who just broke his record for the longest kickoff return? Lewis McMahon. What a way to start this ball game. It doesn't get any bigger than an opening kickoff return. The first return of the season for these Coyotes. A phenomenal way to begin. Now the defense has to make a big play. They got to keep Eastern Michigan down. As Roback throws, and that is a drop by the running back Ian Erickson. And 2nd and 10 now, upcoming 5 wide setup for Roback as he's going to connect with Erickson this time. He's not going to drop it. That's a 5-yard gain as McLaughlin was all over him. 3rd and 5 now, shotgun formation as Eastern Michigan is running a no-huddle offense here. Roback throws it up, intercepted. Flash Gibson, number 4 on the season for the freshman. He has been an interception machine. He's had an up and down year. He's had games where he plays lights out. He's had games where he's gotten turned around and big plays have been gotten on him. But he is a freshman and he's been making big plays, and that's what matters. As on 1st down here for Sanford, a big hit there to Tremaine Dingle. A loss of 3 on the setup screen as Dingle. They like what they saw last week with him on the outside, and they're going to keep doing it as Rob Thomas tries a jet sweep, but he can't find any room. That's going to be a gain of nothing as he did get back to the line. 3rd and 13 now, play action by Patrick. He's going to show off the arm, but it's not long enough as Bossard gets the pick. That's a big interception here as number 4 on the defense, Brandon Bossard, gets the interception on Tanner Patrick's first throw. This is what the issue is with Tanner Patrick. He doesn't have the big arm. He is not Parker Dillon. He can't make those deep ball plays all the time. We saw a lot of it in last week against NIU, but he's got to play smart as Brogan Roback throws it out of bounds on 1st and 10. This is 2nd and 10 now. As Roback wanted the screen, but pressure came in quick. He just got that one off. Great pressure from this defensive front. As 3rd and 10, Coyotes ready to pounce here on 3rd down. Pressure incoming. Ball thrown out of bounds. They're going to have to punt this one away. The defense showing off early here. 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Tanner Patrick looks to throw. He finds Costello. That's Duron Costello as he fumbles, but out of bounds, luckily. 19-yard gain there. They're already in Eagles territory as the handoff goes to Claude Fleming. He'll only gain 1 on that carry. This is a stout Eagles defensive front, though, so they're going to have a tough time running the ball if you ask me. 2nd and 9 as they go option, and Patrick quickly caught as the corner comes down to make the play. Only a gain of 2 for Tanner Patrick. If he'd gotten a little more space, could have been a big gain. 3rd and 7 now as Patrick rolling out, connects with Tremaine Dingle, but not a lot of room to run as he had to stop and reset. Only a gain of 1. They're still in the field here on 4th down. Patrick to throw, hooks up with Robert Thomas on the outside on the curl route. 21 yards down to the 10. Great play. As it is 1st and 10. Patrick has been a monster on those curl routes, as that got them that big first down. A 4-yard gain now for Claude Fleming as they go back to the ground game. 2nd and 6 as they're back in the shotgun. Patrick looks to throw. He's got time. He connects with her fellows. That's a surprising catch. A defender was right there, but that is a touchdown, Sanford. As a great offensive drive there, Sanford looking now to go back to the defensive side of things and make something happen is Ian Erickson with a 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1 as Eastern Michigan looks to go 5 wide here with this no huddle. Roback can't connect with his man as that one's deflected by Stephen Young. 3rd and 1, a big 3rd down for the Eagles. Roback going option. He's brought down though, Shane Townsend. Not allowing anything to happen there. 4th and inches, and it will be a punt. Normally we've seen some fakes on those 4th and inches. As McMahon finds room. He pitches it back, and that is taken away by Brown. I'm not sure what McMahon was thinking. I'm not sure if he just lost the football or if he pitched it back. A big mistake on Sanford's part there, as now Eastern Michigan takes it back with great field position. As Erickson up the gut for only a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 now. The no huddle continues as Eastern Michigan now gets the play from the sideline. Roback dropping back. Pressure was coming, but he hit Sergio Bailey. And Bailey able to find 21 yards, brought down by Dante McPherson. 1st and 10 as the no huddle continues. Roback hands off to Erickson, and that's going to be a gain of 2. Once again, Erickson not finding a lot of room. 2nd and 8 as Roback drops back. He's going to connect with Daughtery, but Daughtery can't catch the ball. That's a drop, and that's going to bring up a huge 3rd and 8. They can still get a first down at the 1. As Roback looks to throw, he throws off his back foot across his body, and Ian Erickson fights but doesn't get enough. 7-yard gain, they needed 8. And they brought out the offense on 4th down. And that's a touchdown for Eastern Michigan. The Eagles are successful. Dan Bushman, the big tight end, in the end zone. So the Eagles have cut this lead in half, capitalizing off the Sanford fumble. As 1st and 10 now for Sanford back on offense. Down goes Patrick. They wanted that read option, but nothing going there. Jason Beck has been a monster for this defense so far. 2nd and 14 now after the loss of 4 on Patrick. They're going to go play action. Tanner rolls out, connects with Deron Costello. Big 24-yard reception, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. As Sanford is on top early, 14-7. You are listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. I'm Jonathan West, and we'll be back with more after this. Welcome back, folks, to the second quarter of play, as it is a handoff here for Nigel McTaggart. You are listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. It's 14-7, Sanford on top. 2nd and 8 after the McTaggart gain of 2. Patrick across the middle gains 14 with Tremaine Dingle, but Dingle looks shaken up. He's able to stand, but that arm does not look to be in the best of shape. As Patrick hands off to Fleming, that means Rob Thomas will move back out to the outside. We'll see Harrison Frazier now in the slot. As Patrick takes the option, and that's going to be a loss of 2. As Luke McLean able to pick up the tackle. 3rd and 10 now in a 5-wide set. Patrick looks to throw. Deep ball, wide open. Herb Fellows, touchdown Sanford. I don't know what happened there on the coverage for the Eagles, but wide open was Fellows, and you can't allow that. Big touchdown, 21-7 now. As the Eagles look to continue their offense, and Sergio Bailey the wide receiver, making all the plays here for Eastern Michigan today. 21-7, and they are going 5 wide. Here are the Eagles as Roback looks to throw. Over the middle, he connects with Bailey again. Big hit, though, delivered. Trey McLaughlin not going to let him go down easy. Is enough, though, for a first down, gain of 15. They continue the no-huddle. Roback to run, but guess who was there? Shane Townsend, able to force the fumble and picked up by Joe Irvin. That is a big turnover for Sanford and a big sack for last year's sack leader. As Townsend hasn't been as dominant this year, but this whole defensive line has been able to garner a lot of sacks. As it's a handoff here on 1st and 10 on offense. Claude Fleming can only find enough room for 3 yards. He hasn't had the best day so far. 2nd and 7 as the handoff goes to Fleming, finally finding some room and bulling over some people. That is a 10-yard gain and a big first down. 1st and 10 here as Patrick looks to throw again. Over the middle, connects with Costello. He's been a big target today for Patrick. 19-yard connection and a big first down in the red zone. 1st and goal here as Fleming looks to run. He can't find much room. A loss of 1 there. Is I.K. Cauldron. I believe that's Cauldron. Not exactly sure how you would pronounce that, but he gets the tackle. It's Patrick rolling out here on 2nd and goal. That's Harrison Frazier, and he drops the touchdown. Only the 2nd incompletion of the day. Patrick has had a good day throwing the football as he connects with Rob Thomas there. Not enough room to get in, but that is going to be a surefire field goal as it's 24-7 here and a jump by Eastern Michigan. That's going to move him back 5 yards, and this offense cannot be having that happen. 1st and 15 is Roback play action. He connects with Ian Erickson. The running back gains 9 on that catch. 2nd and 6 now as they are still running this no-huddle offense. Getting the play from the sideline. Roback goes option here. He pitches it off to Shaq Van, the receiver, and that is a gain of 10 from Van. 1st and 10, they're still in this strange formation, and they'll go back to the they'll go back to the option, but Erickson couldn't find room. McPherson was all over him. A loss of 2 for Erickson as it's 2nd and 12, as that is knocked away there. Ronnie Hansen, good coverage. 3rd and 12 now for Eastern Michigan. They're back in that 5 wide as Roback looks to throw. He connects with Dan Bushman. That's going to be enough for the tight end to get a first down, 14 yards. 1st and 10 here under center is Roback. He'll pitch it off to Erickson. He's got some blocks in front of him and running room to the 20, 15, 10, down and around the 8 or 7 yard line. Hell of a run by Ian Erickson there. So he's going to get the handoff again, but this time not be so lucky to find room. That's Jason Turner, the safety that brought him down. 2nd and goal, Roback looks to throw, hooks up with Sergio Bailey. He'll be out of bounds after a gain of 5, kept 1 foot in. 3rd and goal for this offense as Roback looks to connect. He connects with Daughtery, and that is going to be a gain of 4. As Roback able to find his man, and a touchdown is made, as that's going to make it a 2-possession ball game. They'll kick it away to Sam Moore here. As Moore gets a nice block in front of him, he's got speed on his side to the 40, 30, the man misses, 10-5, touchdown Sanford, 99 yards. That is the 2nd kickoff return today, as it is 31-14 and the first half's not even over, folks. Roback connects with Harris here on the deep ball. That's a 19-yard gain. As a big first down for Eastern Michigan as the Eagles try and make a comeback here. Roback has time, connects with Stone, as that's a gain of 16. 1st and 10 for Roback. He's going to throw. Connects again with his man, as that was right on the sideline and with 2 feet in bounds. It's going to be another first down. Roback looks to throw again, connects with Van. So we have gotten word on Tremaine Dingle. He may return to this ball game, but it will be late if he does. As Roback on 2nd and 1 here, connects with Shaq Van, avoids 2 tackles, and into the end zone goes Van. 20-yard touchdown reception. You got to give a lot of credit to Shaq Van. And I'm sorry I called him a wide receiver before. I'm rechecking my notes here. He is a running back, and that is a great play by Van there. As they have now made it a 2-possession ball game again. They're going to kick it back to Moore, as Moore's going to get another chance to return. Some good blocking up front. He's got room. All the green in front of him. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Now he's going to kill some clock. Look at this kid go. 96 yards. The true freshman with 2 kickoff returns today. 3 total for Sanford in the first half. Amazing. 16 seconds left here in the half. As Roback goes deep. Nearly intercepted by Richard Cruz. Great coverage there. 2nd and 10. 10 seconds remain in the half. Roback to throw. He'll go with the screen for Ian Erickson, as that's going to be a gain of only 1. This will be the last play of the half here, folks. Roback to throw. He'll just chuck it up. He does have a man making his way there, but can't get there in time. That will end it and take us to halftime. Huge start for Sanford. They're up 38-21 at halftime. You're listening to Sanford Sports Radio. Second half right after this. Welcome back to the Sanford Sports Radio, folks. It's Sanford, Eastern Michigan. This is the second half of play beginning as Porter makes the reception there with a 20-yard gain and a first down to start off things for the Eagles. As it's 38-21, Coyotes are on top. 1st and 10 here for the Eagles as they're under center getting the play from the sideline. Handoff goes to Erickson. He had a good run earlier of about 40 yards, and that's going to be a gain of 8 there. As Erickson wants to break another one here, I'm sure, today. 2nd and 2, almost called it 20. That'd be far too much as Daugherty can't hang on to that one. He drops the surefire reception. 3rd and 2 as they're in that pistol formation. They're going to the option, and Roback with a nice run fighting for extra yards against Trey McLaughlin, but brought down after a gain of 11. 1st and 10 here, still under center is Roback. He's going to go play action, and that is dropped by Porter. Dante McPherson got in there to kind of force it free. 2nd and 10 now, 5 wide set for Roback. Going back to the air, and that is Ian Erickson. He's brought down just short of the first down marker. That's going to lead to a 3rd and very manageable. 3rd and 1 here for the Eagles as they're in the shotgun. They get that play from the sidelines, and they're going to run it with the option, but shut down entirely. Joe Irvin brings down Roback, but Roback looked shaken up. It looked like McLaughlin may have come down on him as well, as he looks hurt, and Porter, the backup quarterback, will be coming into play here on 4th and 3, and he misses his intended target. That is a turnover on downs, as now the Eagles have an even tougher test. Tanner Patrick taking off on 1st and 10 on option, and that is going to be a big first down run. The athleticism on display by the freshman is Claude Fleming taking off here. He's going to go up the gut for a gain of 6. Not a lot of running today. been a lot of the passing attack, but of course the offense hasn't seen the field much. As 2nd and 4, and that's just a miscue there by Patrick and Fellows. Fellows was there, but just couldn't get there in time to make the play. As 3rd and 4, Patrick, quick throw to Rob Thomas. That's going to be a first down and plenty more, gain of 18. Dingle still not back in the ball game. As Patrick hands off to Fleming, it looks like maybe, just maybe, Dingle came back in for that play, as that's a gain of 6 for Claude Fleming on the ground. 2nd and 4 in the full house formation. The handoff goes to McTaggart, and he makes the big run there. That's a 13-yard rush for Nigel McTaggart. We haven't called his name much today. As Patrick looks to roll out, he wants to throw but loses the football. Luckily, it's recovered by Fleming. But a big sack there by Eastern Michigan. As that is a huge sack and almost could have been real bad for Sanford. 2nd and 23 following the Eagles sack. Patrick looks to throw, connects with Harrison Frazier. That could have been deflected. Very iffy throw decision there, but a nice 11 yards for Harrison Frazier. 3rd and 11. Frazier still in the ball game for Dingle, of course, as Patrick looking to go the way of Frazier, but intercepted by Stuckey. That is another turnover for this team. That's a big interception, 2nd of the day for Patrick, and that gives Eastern Michigan a little bit of life. 1st and 10 here for Porter in this offense. As the backup quarterback takes off on the option, it's going to be a 1-yard gain for Todd Porter. 2nd and 9 now as Porter looking to the sidelines. He's going to hand off, no play action. Has all the time in the world. Intercepted Jason Turner. He popped in out of nowhere, and he dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Sanford. Pick 6 by Jason Turner. What a play. The backup free safety, who of course won the starting safety job from freshman Daniel Clemens during the offseason, gets the interception. He's been a huge playmaker this year. As Eastern Michigan now looking at a 24-point deficit. And that's going to be a 3-yard gain there from Porter. 2nd and 7. As Porter getting the play from the sidelines. And he looks to throw. He connects with the receiving Porter. A 12-yard gain there. Antone Porter and Todd Porter, of course, being the respective players here. 1st and 10. Todd Porter looks to take off here. He will do so sliding down for his own safety after a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 now with a minute and a half left here in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion. As it is 2nd and 2. Shotgun formation. Porter to throw. He's going to take off, but brought down. That is a sack for Gary Colvin, the backup end. As Colvin able to make the play, he was actually coming in from the defensive tackle spot. So he was playing inside on that down, able to catch Porter as he was trying to get outside. 3rd and 5 here, 5 wide set for these Eagles. Porter looks to throw. He connects with Stone, but he is far short of the marker. Brought down is Stone after a gain of 1, and that means it's Sanford football again. It's Claude Fleming takes the handoff. It looks like Coach Wolfster's going to run the football now. So that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 45-21, Sanford on top. 1 quarter left, folks. You're listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. It's the final quarter of play here on the Sanford Sports Radio. Sanford College is up 45-21 over Eastern Michigan. Claude Fleming taking it up for a gain of 1 there on second down. 3rd and 6 here now out of the full house. Patrick looks to throw, connects with Rob Thomas, but he can't hang on. It's a drop, and that will mean a punt from the Coyotes. 1st and 10 here as Porter looks to throw as he connects with Antone Porter, and that's going to be a big play for them, with the Porter connection working out there and a big first down nearing Coyote territory. As 1st and 10 here with this no huddle, Porter dropping back, connecting with his receiving counterpart. That's going to be a 12-yard reception. 1st and 10 here as they once again line up with this no huddle. Porter dropping back, quick throw to Antone Porter, and another gain, 9 yards. It's been that quick connection with those two. 2nd and 1 here, Porter dropping back. He connects with Ian Erickson this time, the halfback. That's going to be a gain of 8 as they are inching closer to the red zone. No huddle continues here. Play coming in from the sideline as Porter looks to run now. And he spins off of one would-be tackle. That was Gabriel Connor, as that's going to be a gain of 6. Brought down by, I believe, Tremaine Dye. 2nd and 4. As the play comes in, they're under center now as Porter hands off on the delayed handoff, but that goes nowhere as Ronnie Hansen on top of it. 3rd and 6 here. Porter looks to throw. He connects with Shaq Van, the backup running back. That's a gain of 8, enough for the first down as Otis Griffin makes the play on defense. 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Porter goes with the option. He's got room and fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown Eastern Michigan. As the Eagles now are trying to fight back with this huge deficit. And they're going to need some big plays. They're going to go for 2 here. As Porter looks to throw, connects with Sergio Bailey, but dropped at the goal line. No good on the 2-point conversion. Daniel Clemens, the freshman, makes the play. As an onside kick, and Clemens able to make the play as they didn't even have the hands team out there. They were caught off guard with Sanford, but they still recover the onside. 1st and 10 option here for Tanner Patrick. He's going to take off for a gain of 3. Solid gain here as they continue to run clock. 2nd and 3 now as Patrick hands off to Bradford. And the fullback gains 3. Not enough though for the first down as they'll be inches short. 3rd and inches. Handoff goes to Fleming. He's got that first down and more as they're about 2 yards away from entering the red zone. Gain of 9. 1st and 10 here in the pistol. Patrick looks to throw. Surprising here as Rob Thomas was open just a tad bit, but it gets knocked away. 2nd and 10. Patrick hands off to Claude Fleming, and he's not going to find much room. A gain of 3. So he's had a solid day, but still having a hard time finding 4 yards per carry. It's 3rd and 7. They're going to throw the ball. Patrick intercepted as Onda gets the pick. He was looking for Costello, unable to hit him. That will be the 3rd pick of the day. But at this point, I don't know if Eastern Michigan has the time to even really capitalize on this. It's an 18-yard, or I'm sorry, an 18-point deficit, as I had to do my math there. Porter able to take off here on 1st and 10. He can't find a gain there. They're going to call this a sack for Richard Cruz. 2nd and 10. Porter quickly dropped. That's Gabriel Connor coming through. The backup defensive tackle. He came right through. Nobody wanted to block him as he just was fed Todd Porter. A huge hit by Connor. 3rd and 13 is this offense needs to make a play here as they check down to Daughtery, and he gets stopped just short of the marker. 2 yards short, 11-yard gain. Stephen Young, the man on the tackle. 4th and 2 here for Eastern Michigan. Porter dropping back. He connects, but Antone Porter can't hang on. It's a drop and incomplete. As now all Sanford needs to do is, well, just run the football out now. Splash Gibson was the man who made the play on 4th down. Well, they're stacking the line there as Claude Fleming looks to run, and he took the pitch but can't find any yardage. He'll lose 4 on that carry. 2nd and 14, Fleming gets the handoff. He's dragged down once again. Another loss there. He actually got back to the line. I take that back. 3rd and 15, Patrick to throw here, it looks like. He goes deep, and that one is batted away, intended for Duran Costello. They'll just take the Tracy Weaver field goal. It is good, and that is going to really be the dagger right here. It's a 21-point deficit, 3 touchdowns exactly now, as Erickson is brought down by Trey McLaughlin there. It was a gain of 9 by Erickson as Porter out of the 5 wide set throws and misses his target on 2nd and 1. 3rd and 1 now upcoming. As it's 5 wide once again, Porter to throw. He connects with Stone under the defense, and they are going to allow them to really get anything underneath. 44 seconds left. They bring pressure as Porter on the run can't connect with his man. Dante McPherson was one man in coverage. Richard Cruz another. As 2nd and 10 here, shotgun formation, man in motion is Bushman. As Porter connects with Dan Bushman, the big tight end, and he's fighting off Richard Cruz. Heath Haley, the man who had to bring him down. 22-yard gain as they've entered the red zone. 1st and 10 with less than half a minute to go. Connecting with Sergio Bailey, brought down by McPherson, and that is going to bring up a 1st and goal. Shotgun, Porter looks to throw. Back of the end zone, it's Daughtery, and they will score to the Eagles. Defense played a little off, not playing as really aggressive as they could, trying to stop the pass. As the onside is picked up by Otis Griffin, the backup middle linebacker. With 18 seconds, the kneels take place. As this game is over, folks, and understandably so, your player of the game is Sam Moore. 2 kickoff returns, and he didn't have one to start this game. Both Lewis McMahon and Sam Moore came in today with no returns, punt or kickoffs. And we come away with 1 for McMahon, 2 for Moore. Huge victory for Sanford. The defense needs to play sharper though. They can't be as laid back as they were, even late in the game. Sanford wins 48-34, and the offense looks sharp. They need to not make mistakes even late game when they've got a big lead. But I'll say this much. Tanner Patrick looks as good as advertised as a starter from last week against NIU. And if he continues to play this way, I see for 4 years this being Tanner Patrick's team, as long as he stays here and doesn't, elect for the NFL draft at any point. However, folks, it's a big win for Sanford. They've got more conference play coming up. If they can continue this, it will be huge. However, there will be an open practice to the public this week. We will see you folks there for another live edition of The Howlers. I will be there watching practice go on.